Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. How's everybody doing today? Let me see here. I hope everybody's doing really well. Today I am going to talk about my surgery day, so I hope you guys will sit back, relax, have something to eat with me while I'm talking. I do have some egg rolls, vegetable egg rolls, and I have some vegetable Japanese soy noodle. So there is no meat in these. I have a little bit of sweet and sour sauce, and I still have some cookies from Mary, which I will have for dessert. That did look pretty. I don't know that I'll have all those, but I thought I'd put a little assortment out there. But let me give you even a closer up of there's the noodles. Don't those look beautiful? I think it looks beautiful. It has corn and carrots and cabbage and onions and almost basically the same thing in here too. So, but let's take a bite. I don't know if it's still warm. Just every time I set up, I never get to have warm food. I don't know, it takes me forever. But yeah, it's still steaming some, so look at that, isn't that pretty? So I'm gonna have a big bite here. So good, so good. So how's everybody doing today? My new cup, my new SuperFly cup. I will keep and watch out for more because I do like to have that cup for my videos now that it's known to my SuperFam. So I'd like to keep with it. So I'm gonna keep an eye out. I'll keep looking for more, but I haven't seen them in probably a couple years now. So, but I had my surgery Wednesday the 21st of February. I'm going to start from the night before when I went to bed. Very nervous, of course. My older son took me out to dinner the night before, but we went to a very early dinner. I did not want to eat late because you're not supposed to eat really past midnight anyways. Even though they said you could have a very light breakfast like a yogurt or something. I didn't want to do it because I always get sick from anesthesia, so I was very worried about that, which I told them ahead of time in the pre-op, so they knew all the information. But my son took me out, treated me to dinner, which was really, well, early dinner, which is very sweet. We had a nice time, we talked. I was going to video record. I asked him, can I video record? He did not want to be on it, but he said he didn't care if his voice was on it or anything like that. So, but when I got there, they were playing music that was copyrighted, so there's no sense in doing it then because you're not going to hear any voices because I'd have to mute it out. So we had our dinner, came home. I was pretty nervous. I got my shower, and I did not go to bed early. I didn't want to go to bed early. I wanted to go to bed late. Here you go, some soy sauce or sweet and sour sauce, some egg roll. Looks good, huh? It's hot. That is hot. Ooh, burning my fingers. So, got my shower. My surgery was scheduled for, that was Tuesday. My surgery was scheduled for the next day. I had to be there at 12:30. So they said I could have water till 10 a.m. if I wanted. So I drank water only till 9 a.m. because once again I was worried I would get sick. But got up the next morning pretty early because I couldn't sleep. I told my husband I'm not going to get dressed. I'm just going to stay in my nightgown because in a few hours I had to take another shower anyways before I went in for surgery. And I just didn't honestly feel like getting dressed, getting in the shower and then getting dressed again. So I figured I'll stay in my nightgown. And then when I, after my shower, I'll get dressed. I took my shower, got dressed. Still had a little time left. So we went to the post office on our way to the surgical center, and then went to the surgical center, and it was a nice center. It really was. I'd never been there before. So we go in there and I sign in, then of course they want payment. So you had to pay there, then you had to pay the doctor, and then you have to pay the anesthesiologist because I did not have insurance. So we made the payment for there, and probably sat there for about 20 minutes, and then they took me back. And I told my husband, look, there's no reason for you to sit here. He wanted to stay with me, which I really appreciated, but I was nervous enough. And in all honesty, you know, somebody sitting there rubbing my hand or doing whatever, I was really thinking I'll get more nervous. I said, please just go ahead and go get your errands done. I'll leave your number, and when things are, or if there's an emergency or when they're done, they could call you. And he's like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because he really wanted to stay with me. And I said, look, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm just nervous about the anesthesia and them messing with my eyes. But I said, I don't feel it's necessary for you to sit around here for hours waiting on me when you could go get other stuff done and go be with little girl because she was by herself. So he left, and maybe he really wanted to stay, which was nice, but I could hear the people next to me, you know, everybody's nervous and everybody's there trying to calm them down, but I don't think it calms you down when somebody's, you know, it's okay. No, it's not okay. So I just didn't want it. So I go back and they give you a gown. I get my gown on. They take your blood pressure. They take, you know, all kinds of different things, and they start an IV. Bruised from it. It actually hurt a little bit. I'm not scared of needles or anything like that, so it wasn't anything bad because I'm not scared to have shots or IVs, but it did hurt a little bit because she seemed to have a little bit of trouble because it took her forever, and I could feel her actually moving the needle in there. It wasn't unbearable, but it wasn't the nicest thing. So she did that, and they have to dilate your eyes. So 3 or 4 times they come back and dilate your eyes more and more and more and more to the like this. So after that, the doctor comes out and talks to me, and you know, he's such a sweet doctor. I really like him. He's wonderful, kind. He has that personality where you feel comfortable, and I think that's what made it a little bit easier for me. He made me feel comfortable and safe, and I hadn't met the anesthesiologist yet, but he came in, he talked to me, and it made me feel good. And then I asked him if I was having a certain anesthesiologist, because there was 2 there, and one I've had before, and I really like him. He is so kind, so nice. Once again, my last surgery made me feel really comfortable. I know his wife. She's sweet and kind. You know, I was thinking, oh, I hope I get him, but I didn't get him. And I got an anesthesiologist I've never had before, so I started getting a little nervous. But I hear the other anesthesiologist has the patient before me, and he's talking to him, you're going to be fine, everything's going to be wonderful, you know, blah, 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 blah. Sweet, gentle, kind voice. And so I'm sitting there, and they told me, well, keep your eyes shut as much as you can because it helps the dilation. So I had my eyes shut over, so they're, Christine! I know who I was, and there's my anesthesiologist. I wasn't that nervous really before that. He was a good doctor, nothing the matter with him. He did a wonderful, great job, but his voice, it made me very nervous. He had a very harsh, almost like my husband. My husband has a very deep voice, and sometimes when he's talking, it's his normal talk, but he sounds angry or scary to some people, and I'm like, that's just his normal voice, honestly. You know, and I tell him sometimes, you know, you have to watch because some people take it as you're upset or something like that, and he's really not, but that's just how he is, because my husband will give the shirt off his back to anybody. He is very good to me, you know. Okay, he's better to Nikki than he is to me, but he's very good to us girls, and, you know, and his son and all this other stuff, but he just has that type of voice that is very harsh sounding, I guess I should say. So he comes in and he's talking to me, and I'm like, oh, it made me nervous right away. I started getting really nervous. And he's talking to me, asking me, it's okay. Asking me all these questions, you know. Did you take your medicine? Did you do this? Did you do that? And I'm like, yes, no, whatever it was. So he's talking to me, he comes and he checks, because I was, most patients, they do not put, get one eye done and they're in a twilight. They're not really deep under, but I was being put deep under, so he had to ask me a little more questions than it's okay than normal. So, because I was put in a deep sleep because I was having both eyes done and all kinds of stuff. But he asked me all these questions and stuff like that, and then as he's talking, his voice is making me nervous, and I don't know why. But, you know, I just wanted somebody to say, oh, don't you worry, it's going to be fine, stuff like that. But he never said that to me, ever once. He might have said it. He might have said everything's going to be just fine. But the other doctor was more like, it's going to be okay. I'm going to take good care of you. And blah, you know what I'm talking about. But I think he probably did say everything's going to be okay. But his voice just made me nervous, and I don't know why. So he told them to go ahead and give me some medicine to relax me. Even though I said, I think I'm okay till I go back there. But he said, no, go ahead and have some now. So I was like, okay. So they come and make sure everything's signed, because they cannot give me drugs till everything is signed. They double check everything, see if anything else needs to be done before I get drugs. I say drugs, but it's a relaxation. I don't know what it is, but so they say, okay, everything's okay. We're going to give you your medicine. They put it in IV, and probably within a minute, I was feeling it. I was feeling pretty good. So I could tell I had medication, because I don't never take really, I mean, I take over-the-counter pain pills and stuff like that, but anything like that, no. So they start wheeling me back, and they put you on the bed ahead of time that you're going to be in the operating room. So there's no switching over or anything like that. So I'm on the bed. I go into this beautiful sterile room, big bright lights. Everybody's in there talking to me. I had two nurses because I had two eyes that were going to be done. One would do the first one, and the other one would take care of the second one, because in between they had to break down, redo everything. I guess the first nurse would break down everything as the other one's getting it ready, and then she'll be there for the second eye. So I had two nurses. They introduced me to the second nurse, and told me, you know, the anesthesiologist asked me to scoot back, because your head has to be in a certain position, I guess. So I scoot back and put my head in the headrest, and they said, we're going to give you oxygen. And I said, okay. And I asked them, please just don't tell me when you put me to sleep. I didn't want to know, but I don't think they listened, because I think they were telling me, okay. But, you know, I took a couple deep breaths, and I was out. So that's the easy part, right? So I was out for a while, and then next thing you know, I'm waking up in the surgery room. Them saying, Christine, everything went well. You did really good, and everything's fine. And as they wheel me out to the recovery room, I told them, I said, and I remember saying this, so I was pretty groggy, but I remember telling them I was dreaming that I was on a Housewives of Beverly Hills. And they were laughing at me because I was talking about that. But I was dreaming on a Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'd probably be more appropriate on Hillbilly Housewives, but yeah, I was dreaming I was on there, and I was waking up, and at that time they had called my husband at one time, I don't know when, to come, and they're talking to me, and they're like, my vision was very, very cloudy. I could not see really. It was almost like I still had cataracts. It was like white clouds over my eyes. They asked me if I had sunglasses. I said yes. Hold on for a minute. I have to go get something. I just forgot something I want to show you. So I was in recovery, and you know, you're in and out of it, and probably half hour later after coming to recovery, they want you to get up out of bed. So I'm very groggy and not very stable on my feet, but I get up and they put your shoes on, because once you have the surgery, you cannot bend over, which sometimes I've made a few mistakes because it's really hard to remember that. No bending over, no lifting over 10 pounds, and no stress. So, yeah, so I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, and they put my shoes on for me, which I wore just easy shoes, and I sat up, and they brought a wheelchair over for me to sit in. So I sat in a wheelchair. My husband came, and I can't remember if he came when I was still in bed or when I just got in a wheelchair. I think I had just gotten a wheelchair. And he comes, and they give me a little bit to drink, and they give you a couple crackers because they want you to see that you could drink and eat a few crackers. So I did that. And she brings all the paperwork and goes over it with mainly my husband, but I'm sitting there and I'm listening too. I do remember some of it. And she goes over, you know, no making big decisions in the next day or so, and blah, 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 and bed rest. And I was still pretty groggy, cannot see. I could not see probably for the first 3 days. I was very, very cloudy. Very blurry, very bad peripheral vision, which I still have now. I don't really know why. And so she's going over all the paperwork. That is a cat snoring, in case you're wondering. But she's going over the paperwork to my husband, but I'm listening too. And she tells us the drops. I have 3 drops I take a day. 2 of them I take 4 times a day. So I take this one 4 times a day, this one 4 times a day. Then I have one I take 1 time a day. So, which I still have another day or 2. And then I take the 1 drop for a whole month. And for the first 4 days, I have to wear these to cover my eyes every night. This looks sticky here, and I'll tell you why. I call these my fly eyes. I always tell my husband, let me get my fly eyes on, because normally you have 1 because you only have 1 eye done, but I had 2, so I had to have 2 to cover my eyes every night to protect my eyes that nothing happened to them. And what I did is I taped them together with tape that they gave me. So a very strong tape, I have to tell you that. So that's why they look sticky. I taped them together, and then you're supposed to tape them to your face. And I spoke to the doctor. I said, look, I have a night mask. You know how it has a thing that covers your eyes and has stretchy stuff in the back. I said, I have an idea. I'd like to turn it backwards, and I'll tape the straps to the center here. And then when I put it on, I'll just put the mask on behind, and it will hold these in place. And he said, great idea. Great. As long as you have your eyes protected every night, I don't care. For 4 nights, I had to wear these. So uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. Definitely fly eyes. Let's see. There you go. Looking through them. I'm trying to put it over the camera so you can see what it's like looking through them. But that's why they look sticky here, because I stuck them together. So that's what I went to go get. So I had to wear those for 4 nights. Can't touch your eyes, can't rub your eyes. And boy, have I been wanting to rub them and scratch them and whatever else because of the healing. I still have the peripheral problem. And that might be because on the inside of my eyes, there are stitches on both sides. On this side of my eyes, in here. There were stitches, and I don't know if I guess they dissolve or whatever, but I see far away perfectly. I always say I have HD vision now because I see every flake, every color. Color has changed for me. Super bright colors now that I hadn't seen probably for a long time. I see every blade of glass, every thing of hair. It's just amazing. When I look on TV and I'm looking at somebody's hair, I can see everything of hair. It's just different. But I do not see up close because I did for a long time wear contacts. Then I kind of gave up on contacts because I was having a little bit of trouble reading with my contacts. I tried the ones with the bifocals, everything, but I was having trouble reading, so I gave up contacts. And I went to glasses, which I hardly wore because my eyes were not that bad until I got the cataracts. I would not have had this surgery, honestly, if I did not have the cataracts and was going to be blind in both eyes. In 6 months, I would have just, you know, been normal, because when I did wear my glasses, I would have to lift them a little bit to read. So I just quit wearing glasses because it was very, I think it was 75 and 100 or vice versa. It was not a horrible, bad vision. It was just when the cataracts arrived that it became bad. But, so now I probably have to wear bifocals all the time, which is a huge adjustment because I never had trouble reading up close because I didn't wear my glasses or anything, because I could drive, I could do whatever else without them that I wanted to. But now, I always did wear glasses when I drove, though, because I do have that on my driver's license. But when you have your eyes done, you get 2 little ID cards. Well, 1 per eye. If you get 1 eye, you get 1. But I have 2 little cards, so when I go to the driver's license place, I'll present these. They have like little serial numbers, little this and that, what eye, all kinds of information on it to tell them that I no longer need glasses restrictions on my eyes. They can take it off. So I got to do that, which I'll probably do before May, because May is the renewal day when my birthday is. So I'll do it probably before then. I'm not sure, but I have perfect vision far away. Now I have to adjust not being able to see up close, which has been very hard for me. I'm not used to, when I look at my iPad and read the comments, I never had any problem. I would just read them or whatever, because I didn't have my glasses on. But now it's like having perfect, you know, my glasses on and I can't lift them. And it's weird. I told my husband sometimes I feel they're not really my eyes. Honestly, I still feel that way. It just has been a bit of an adjustment, but I know in time it will be a normal thing to me and I'll be used to it and I'll be happier then. I am happy I can see far away perfectly. I really am. But now I just have to get used to the closeness, and hopefully it's just like right here is blocked off on my eyes a little bit. And when I saw him the day after my surgery, he said that was due to the stitches and stuff like that. So, you know, it all is going to take time. He said it could take months for total adjustment and healing and stuff like that. But the major healing, why you can't do anything, is the first 7 days. So that is my story. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section down below. I will try to answer them. I do not know everything, but I'll do the best I can to answer any questions that I may have not answered. And I'm going to have a cookie with you guys. I think I'll have this pretty one here. Look at that. Isn't it so pretty? It's so bright. I can see it just plain as day. So good. Sorry I didn't eat as much. I kind of thought I wouldn't. That's why I made something I could reheat later, because I wanted to share my story with you. The experience was not as bad as I thought it would be. I do not recommend having both eyes done at one time, I think, because I do feel it's been a hard adjustment. If you have one eye, you could always at least cover it once in a while and see out the other, but I had to. Well, I didn't have to. The fact is this one I was totally blind in, and this one he said within 6 months I will be totally blind in, or sooner. He didn't know. He just gave a 6 months estimated time. It could be weeks or whatever, because when this started, within a month I was blind in that eye. So, but this cookie's so good, it's melting. The AC is running, but it's hot in here. So guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, depending on where you are. You guys mean so much to me. I cannot tell you how important my SuperFam is to me. A wonderful, big, beautiful family, and I love you guys so much. Please like this video. Click on the bell so you know every time I upload a video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and share this video with your friends. Let's get this channel grow into a great big channel. And I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you later. Have a wonderful day or wonderful evening. Bye-bye.